Welcome back, guys. Tonight we are doing Cablights round 2. So if you remember, guys, we did an install video about a year ago with these Cablights. They're from Boost Autoparts. They were gracious enough to send me out a set, and I have loved them ever since I put them on. They were easy to install, and they have been completely flawless ever since. They have not leaked at all, and they've been performing absolutely flawlessly. So here's a little startup sequence. Like I said, they've been perfect. However, they are black, right? The bodies of them are black. The truck is not black. Of course, it is graphite metallic. And if you're going for more of like that OEM Plus kind of look, color matching is always a great option, right? So you always have the option of having your local body shop do it, or, you know, sanding them and painting them yourself, whatever. However, it is really, really nice if you can just order them in the color of your truck from the get-go, right? And that's what they're doing now. All right, so this is what we're working with. So they are now offering their cab lights and their mirror caps and their turn signals painted if you want them, right? So we went ahead and got a set of the cab lights, and they are going to be exactly like my other cab lights, except for the fact that they are perfectly paint matched to the truck. So they look very, very good. The quality of the paint is very, very good that I can tell. I went ahead and waxed and buffed these as well just to get them to pop a little bit more, but overall they are very, very nice, as you can see. Now, this did come with the extra harness and the template and all that if you're going to be doing a retrofit. Obviously, I already have all of that on the truck, so I don't need to do any of that stuff again. Unfortunately, I do have to take down my headliner because they attach in from the inside. I'm not going to show that part in the video. I've already done that. And as well, you can look for their install videos, their how-to instructional videos on their website, and I'll actually post a link for those down below as I did before. So here's a little side-by-side. You can see why I'm excited about them. They have done a fantastic job as far as matching the color of the paint. And overall, it's just gonna help them to blend in a little bit more and just be a cleaner, more seamless look. And once again, if you're looking for that OEM Plus look, this is definitely the way to go. So as I mentioned before, I'm unfortunately going to have to completely take down my headliner again. And once again, I'm not gonna put all that on video. But just so you're aware, if you have not done this job, all of your kind of front headliner has to come out, right? So all of the screws and the mounts and all this stuff has to come down to about halfway so you can get this thing low enough to be able to access the backside. If you're doing it for the first time, so you can get all your wiring in and drill your holes and all that, where in my case, all I have to be able to do is get the bolts out that actually mount those lights on them and then plug in my new lights to the existing harness. So I'll get to it. All right, guys, so as you can see, we've got our headliner down, and you can see by the holes in the roof, the cab lights are out. Just kind of cleaned up the holes there, make sure there was no water there from the wash that I just did. But so here are our old cab lights. To say they're still in perfect condition, but we're gonna go ahead and get these swapped out. Should be an easy swap. All right, so the new cab lights are in. They went in real nice and easy. So we're gonna do a couple more checks just before we button everything down, just to make sure that everything is working correctly. So let's do a startup sequence here. Looks like we're in good shape there. And let's make sure that we actually turn on with the truck here as well. All right, looks like we're in really good shape. So I'm just gonna make sure they're positioned correctly and get them all sucked down nice and tight so that the gaskets are pressing firmly against the top of the cab. But overall, these look really, really good. We'll get a little bit closer up once we get them tightened down. Also, if you hear some extra scuffling and such in here, it's because there are new puppies. So Border Collie Annie had a litter of 9 puppies over here. So we're pretty excited about that. They're gonna be pretty great. Anyway, that's where the extra noise is from. So we're gonna get these buttoned up. We'll get you a little closer look. All right, guys, so this install is 100% done. I've got my headliner completely buttoned up. The cab is completely put back together. So let's just take a look at these a little bit closer one more time. And like I say, guys, I could not be happier, right? These perfectly match the truck. They fit nice and tight. I did not have any issues with the other set as far as leakage or anything like that. I don't expect to with these ones either, but overall they just blend in so well. And that's really what we're going for, right? It's just kind of an OEM Plus kind of a look. And overall, I could not be happier, right? So huge shout out to Boost Autoparts for making these and sending them out to me, letting me try them out. And I could not recommend them any higher than I am now. So if you're looking to get a set of these for your own truck, I will leave a link in the description below, as well as links to their install video, as well as a link to my other video that I made on these as far as when I was doing the retrofit to the truck, drilling the holes out and all of that. Like I said, they did a fantastic job with their install video. So I highly recommend that you watch that when you're putting them together. I actually had to reference it again as far as how to get part of the headliner down. But overall, I was able to get the headliner down this time in like 20 minutes. Maybe I'm just a veteran at it now, but it really is not a bad job as long as you just be careful and pay attention to what you're doing. It's not a bad job, but overall, once again, the truck looks fantastic. I'm super excited about it. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep the old set here just to have on the shelf, but overall, super happy. And that's where we're gonna leave this video for the night, guys. Just thank you so much for watching. We do have a few more videos coming up in the future as far as more on the performance side of the truck. I have a few decisions to make as far as which direction I wanna go with that, but we'll see. And as far as sled pulling, I don't know if we're gonna do it with this truck or not in the future. I would really love to. That's something that I miss doing a lot. I really enjoyed it and just being in that environment. So I would love to see us there at some point, but we'll see. But either way, guys, we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Thank you.